Hi guys, welcome back with me, Life. Going to the Persona Arena more.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Now we're going to use
This place
Aigis,
exists between dream and reality, mind and matter.
Athena,
Now
Persona
then,
name,
why don't you introduce yourself?
your name Aigis, the Fool. Combat droid built by the Kijara group to destroy shadows. So she is missing her heart allow her to summon her persona, Athena. Use her happy weaponry and Ogja made
Only those who
to
have,
gain the
in
upper hand.
one way or another, entered into a.
Please
I wish
leave
you
it to
good
me.
luck.
Are you awake?
I'm sorry. I had turned off my consciousness to test the new equipment installed on me.
Yes, that's why we use the emergency channel. We've been asked to go into action.
Has something happened? Who sent the request?
We'll brief you on the details in transit. Also, regulations say that the member with the lowest serial number is in command. Currently, that's you.
I'm in command? Are you sure about this? After all, I'm...
You're well suited for it, in my opinion.
Understood.
May 1st, 2012, 1933. Man equipped with assault suit and tactical vest line the concrete ground. Their urban camouflage and unmoving pose give them the appearance of an orderly line of rocks. 30 minutes have already passed since the special assault team took up position near the passenger plane stopped on the landing strip. Their captain glares at the passenger plane before he slowly turns around and looks at each of his men. Every last one wears ski mask and take tactical filter to mask their identities, but he knows them nonetheless.
Tell me about the situation and make it quick. We don't have much time.
One of the team stepped forward next to him. The touchscreen tablet in his right hand has a summary of the case on it. On May 1st, 2012, around 900 hours, a wide-body passenger aircraft headed for Kagoshima sent out 7,500 squad code during passenger boarding. Following the signal, the captain reported to the control tower that their aircraft had been hijacked. Since the uprising occurred during passenger boarding, only half of the passenger, 168 exactly, has boarded. The 10 crew member bringing a total of 178 hostages still to be on board. Some passengers seated near the hatch have succeeded in escaping. Following points were gained from questioning them. Take care not to be seen by the hijacker. There are 3 hijackers. All of them are covering their faces with ski masks. All of them are armed with what seem to be pistols. From their voices and build, they appear to be males. They all spoke fluent Japanese. Suddenly, the aircraft in question has moved to the front of the landing strip as the hijacker insisted and it stopped there. The authorities have attempted to negotiate with the hijackers by radio, but they have met no demands. The team member finished his report. The captain nodded silently and addressed his team.
There hasn't been a plane hijacked in this country in over 10 years. None of us, not even me, have dealt with this before. Still, the procedure remains the same. Trust yourself, remember your training, and keep a cool head.
The captain turns toward the plane again. Taking that as a cue, the team scattered to their specific posts to take up position. The only thing to do now is to see what's happened. Eventually, chance comes around. Half an hour has passed already with no new development. Repeated attempts to raise the hijacker have been made, but they have yet to make any demands. Tensions are beginning to rise. The worst case scenario is that they have no need to make demands, that their objective is to seize the passenger plane itself. In this case, the team will be facing a large-scale terrorist attack.
Come on, talk to us.
The captain muttered to himself, didn't talk. From the perspective of rescuing the hostage, every second that passed without learning the hijacker objective is a second waste. The captain and his team can wait in hiding, but the same is not true for the passenger on board. For untrained civilians, extreme stress can easily lead to physical and mental problems. It's true not only for the hostage, but for the hijacker as well. When people lose their nerve, they tend to act grossly. Hostage will begin to lose hope and the hijacker will begin taking it out on the hostage. Now we're into the incidents. Anything could be happening inside the plane. Captain could do nothing but glare as the time ticked by. After 50 more minutes had passed, a slight change in the situation was reported. All emails and calls going through station near the airport are being checked. The details of the message to be from inside the planes are not confirmed. It appears that the hijacker has confiscated all cellular phones as per standard hijacking plans, but...
Sir, there's a report from HQ. They picked up a transmission from one of the passenger's cell phones. It's a smartphone with GPS, so they can tell it's inside the plane.
Confirm those details for me.
There are two possibilities. The hijacker are using a passenger phone to contact associate outside, or that the passenger is contacting someone in secret. The latter possibility is more likely. More and more devices communication capabilities now, making it extremely difficult for hijackers to remove them entirely from play. And the more hostage involved, the more courageous they become, and the more likely to take risk. Unfortunately, more hostage involvement is all the more dangerous to provoke the hijackers. Each individual hostage is worth less than to them. Details of the transmission make it apparent that the situation is worse than the team has assumed. The cell phone's owner is a man in his 60s in his first class. He signed up with a certain service after being diagnosed with heart illness. It's a remote EKG monitoring service that keeps track of the patient's heartbeat. Scheduled message was automatically sent from the patient's cell phone. Service provider promptly contacted the police, informing that the man was in bad shape.
A man's life is at stake if we don't wrap this up within the hour. Looks like we can't stall for time.
As panic spread, a proposal for negotiation based on this fact and a proposal to storm the plane are both considered. But because only half the passenger has boarded, the situation inside the plane is uncertain, making devising a tactical plan difficult. So if nothing is done, the passenger will certainly succumb within the hour. A blunder like that must be avoided at all costs. That was the thinking that guided the police official to make their decision. That same day, at 10:30...
What? Withdraw? This is a hijacking! What are you thinking, withdrawing our people? Yes, I understand.
Wait, what's going on?
Orders are orders. We'll fall back at once. Get ready.
No one understood the sudden withdrawal order. Why withdraw the team during hijacking? No one on the scene agreed with the decision, but the order could not be overturned. The men here are not the brain, but limbs whose power is best put to use by precisely following orders. Just then, another group approached without a sound. Members are dressed differently, in suit and trench coats, but all of them were black with sunglasses. At a glance, it is clear that they are tall, well-built, and used to rough situation. With nearly 20 of them gathered in one place, they are imposing despite their silence. They don't seem to be airport personnel, but neither are they known to the police. However, the captain sensed a kindred spirit in them and approached.
Who are you?
His voice is last with suspicion, but the man in black at the head of the group speaks dispassionately as if heard nothing.
For the next half hour, we're in command of this scene.
You didn't answer the question. Who's responsible for this?
The captain's tone unconsciously hardens. The group of men in black part and one of their number in the rear step forward. The captain can't stop himself from furrowing his brows. He can already sense the unrest spreading among his team watching in silence. The one stepping forward looked like a 17 or 18-year-old girl. She is dressed in black and sunglasses like those around her, but her slender build is out of place. Not only that, her blonde hair stands out even more in contrast to her all-black outfit. The girls walk a few more steps forward and remove her sunglasses. The captain had intent to appraise the look in her eyes, but only gaps at her crystalline blue eyes. He quickly regained himself and frowned at her.
So you're the one in charge?
Yes,
Are you shitting me?
there is no time to waste quarreling.
The girl looked at him fearlessly, despite the arm team surrounding her. The unreality of it all is what helped the captain get over his surprise. Her age and appearance are most likely meaningless. She is clearly no ordinary girl.
Are you not even gonna tell me who you're with?
I cannot.
So you expect me to hand over control of the scene to you without even telling me who the hell you are?
I believe orders to withdraw have already been issued.
A calm, sweet voice only irritates him. Captain closed the distance with the girl, and while he stopped short of grabbing her suit, he glared into those blue eyes from only an inch away.
Lady, I don't know what kind of juice you have with the brass, but are you ready to be responsible for the deaths of those passengers?
Your protests are doing nothing to relieve the danger. Rescuing them as soon as possible is my, or rather, our duty.
The girl is completely unruffled as he speaks. It's like she's a machine or something. Captain Tate, more dumbfounded than angry.
Have faith in us. We too wish to save them.
For the first time, something like determination flickered within those crystalline eyes. After looking into them, the captain finds something akin to resolve and confidence in them. He stepped back. Raising his right hand to his chest, he showed the girl his watch.
Right. But you got exactly 30 minutes and not a second more.
Understood.
After the girl notes, she gives instruction to prepare a staircase to the group she is leading. The captain's fist tightened nervously. Since there are few users for a staircase, staircar, quietly moving in its place, men think Hajika thinks that the strike team is getting ready to storm the plane. But there is no hesitation in the girl action.
Well then, move in as naturally as possible while staying in their blind spots.
Eventually, a ruthless stair car advanced slowly toward the passenger plane.
Closest we can get without them noticing will be about 10 meters from the plane.
That will be more than enough.
More than enough? What's the point of half-assing it like that? The captain's annoyance began to turn to curiosity. If she is replacing the SAT team, then she must have a plan beyond simple brute force, but
Now, let's begin.
the stair car stopped. The girl gets out of the driver's seat. He walks slightly behind the vehicle, turns toward the passenger plane, and sits with one knee up.
What's she doing?
The captain brings up a pair of binoculars to see her behavior more closely. At first, he assumes she is going to use the stair car's movement as a decoy and send her team in front of a different direction. Like human, most vehicles have significant blind spots above and underneath. Yet that doesn't seem to be her plan. Does she plan to make her move while using the stair car as shelter? Is she possible going to snipe them? Captain discarded the possibility. It would be foolish to set up a sniper perch at a lower angle of elevation, where the girl is now. While the captain mulls over the question, the girl makes an unexpected move. She appears to lower her stance slightly one moment, and in the next, she is no longer in sight. By the time the captain grabs that she is running, she has already reached the top of the stair car. The slender body launched like a cannonball from the top of the stair.
What? She jumped?
Even the SAT members voiced their surprise. The girl's leap arcs over the distance of over 10 meters. It's clearly beyond the abilities of a human being. Coming in the middle of a hijacking, the scene seems even more surreal. The girl landed on top of the aircraft and staying off of nothing unusual had happened. Looks at the aircraft beneath her and slowly turned her head to scan it from back to front. It reminds the captain of the movement of a security camera. You know it should be impossible, but he wondered if she can see through the plane ceiling. Eventually, the girl seems convinced of something and begins walking. As she reaches the boarding hatch at the front, she moves her right hand to her back. The captain noticed that a special knife coated gray from black to hilt is in her hand.
What's she gonna do with that knife?
The girl suddenly lowers her stance and slides down the slide of the aircraft. Just as she's about to fall, she thrusts the knife into the jamb of the hatch and dangles from it.
That's just crazy.
She then uses her left hand to pull the handle and unlocks the hatch with ease. Once the thick airtight door just out of the aircraft, the girl nimbly jumps into the plane. The captain is shocked by her dauntless method. He begins to wonder if she intended to defuse the situation on her own. The captain lowered the binocular and faced the reality before him with his own eyes. Who in the world is she? The doubt he had dismissed rises within him again. A warning light goes on in the cramped cockpit. Two people there notice it at once. One of them is the captain, sitting in the pilot's seat. The other is the man holding a gun to the back of the captain's head. The light is level hatch open. Even an amateur can understand what it means. The man suddenly tense and stands ready at the passenger side door. He prepares himself for someone to charge through it. But he quickly regains himself and shoots a gun back onto the captain. The man casts irritated glance back and forth between the captain and the door for a while. He eventually approached the door, his gun pointed at the captain. He cautiously cracked open the door and looked toward the passenger seatings. Just outside the cockpit is the first class section. But the passengers were gathered in economy class at the time of the hijacking. First class is empty. The man squinted. The water of observation or worse, sniper. The windows are down, coming into the darkened plane from the bright cockpit forces his eyes to adjust. From the corner of his eye, he sees a gleam of light shining that's unlike the regular light. And within that light is a silhouette. Before he can react, the silhouette figure closes the distance. A hand grabs the edge of the door and opens it with tremendous force. Two quick, heavy shots are fired. Man collapsed unconscious without a sound. Captain turns around in surprise to see the intruder. A blonde girl with an index finger to her lips to signal silence. He first laid the man on the ground and then removed the pistol in his hand. On closer inspection, it is only a model gun supplemented with metal parts. In between the part is in a different place compared to a real gun. If taken apart, the disassembled piece would look nothing like a real pistol. The girl takes handcuff from a small pouch in her waist and fastens the man's arm to a seat leg near the window. Even if he wakes up, he will be unable to stand. So the captain still looks as if he wishes to say something. The girl admits his and insists on silence as he leaves. The curtain dividing first class and economy class is closed. The girl hides herself behind it and peeks through. There is a man in each of the aisles on the left and right. Neither seem to have noticed her. The passenger and cabin crew are crammed into seats in the back. Everyone policeman matched the reading from her heat sensor she picked up from above the plane. Both remaining hijackers are closer to first class. The man close to her is only a few steps away. She judged that he can easily be disabled before reacting if she moves quickly. They both carry pistols, but they are the same type as the downed hijacker. From what she can see, there two are mere model guns. The girl swiftly pushes aside the curtain and grabs the door, the closer man's right wrist. The hijacker, caught off guard by the sudden freeze of such a slender girl, stopped moving for a moment. In that moment, he surrendered any chance of victory he may have had. With a panic cry, he dropped the pistol to the ground. The girl used her grips on his right hand to put him on the ground, and smoothly pulls out another pair of handcuffs and locks his arm to the passenger seat. The man thrashed about, but despite his struggle, he is no better than a worm writhing on the ground. The last hijacker finally recovered from his shock and aimed his gun. The girl pulls the button from the other man's sleeve and flicks it toward her opponent face. The button travels an immense speed, though it was only fired from her finger. The man tried to steal his face, but he is too late. and groans in pain when the projectile impacted his forehead. The girl does not let the opportunity pass. Easily jumps over the 3-seat wide center block of sheet with one arm and grabs the man's right hand. There, she repeats the same procedures she used before. The weapons are immediately seized, but they are restrained on the floor. Passengers are only now grasping what's happening before their eyes. A murmuring chorus rise.
Do not be alarmed. I have come to rescue you. Your safety has not been secured yet, so please stay calm and remain in your seats.
Passenger rocked in a chair. There is sporadic applause as well, but there is slightly hysterical ting to its reaction to the tension of the situation.
Excuse me. We were told someone requires medical assistance for their chronic heart illness. His name is...
Just as the girl approached the center of the plane, she sensed a male passenger stand up from his seat. He is extremely calm and quiet as he does so. The girl belatedly picks up on the incongruity. All the other passengers are nervous. It is then that she feels something hot pressing up against the back of her head. You know without looking that it is the muzzle of a gun. The nearby passenger cry of relief suddenly turned to scream.
I am impressed with your judgment to stay hidden until an opportunity arose.
The girl is unperturbed as she continued to look straight ahead. The man stays silent and keeps the pistol pressed to her head. You know there is no danger of being shot, but she is not yet sure that he was the only one in hiding. Left with no choice, the girl acceded to his demand and moved forward. And after about 10 steps, another man stand up as expected.
Ah, and you too.
The man doesn't answer. He slowly approaches from the front. The girl is now sandwiched from the front and back. At that moment, footsteps sound from beyond the curtain leading into first class. The two culprits both react at once, but it is too late. Over 10 men in black rush in at once from beyond the curtain. While the girl had drawn the hijacker's attention with the scuffle, the staircase had closed in. The stair car has closed in. First they pin down the man standing in front. The narrow passage gives the man behind her a short reprieve, but it doesn't last long. The moment he lowered her hand, grasping the pistol in order to escape, the girl grabs his wrist. Focus was he on the man who burst onto the scene that he forgot about the threat the girl posed. He is immediately tripped and restrained once his fall hits his back. The girls stand up and look around. If there were any more hijackers inside the plane, this would be their last chance to make a stand. But no one rises from their seat. He glanced toward the man in black and they nod back in acknowledgement. It seems the crisis has been averted. The girl carefully kept her talk from appearing on her face and gave an inner sigh of relief. Soon afterward, the sweeper teams give a report confirming that the aircraft is secure. The girl works with the cabin crew to arrange transport for the man with the heart illness before she steps out for a moment. It turns out the blue indicator lights on the stair car and moving the signal toward the SAT's position. It is the signal that the crisis is over.
She's done already?
On receiving the sign, the SA team on standby start talking among themselves.
It hasn't even been 5 minutes. There should have been at least 3 hijackers.
You know what they remind me of is those guys. Like Men in Black or something.
Captain, who are those people? Is that one even human?
The captain sighed with reluctance.
This is just a rumor, but I've heard that the higher-ups formed an unofficial security group in conjunction with a certain corporation.
Security group.
It's supposedly for cases that are a little strange. I hear they have some official standing with the police, too. Though it's all some private enterprise, so technically there's no authority involved at all.
What? But this is Japan we're talking about.
A search and destroy unit that answers to no department and keeps no records. I've heard them called Shadow Operatives.
It turns on his own blue light as a sign of understanding and waves it left and right. The response flags come from up ahead. The girl that sees the captain spreading his arm and shrug and smile for the first time. It feels slightly bad for them. The team may have seen them, though they had done nothing wrong. she'd apologize to them later. But then, in the corner of the girl's eyes, near the entrance of the luggage cart at the corner of the building, a figure catch her attention.
A girl?
The girl seems to be about her age and is wearing a plain cape-like dress. The girl on the aircraft feels oddly uneasy at seeing the figure. To begin with, given the heights and security, the parking entrance should be strictly sealed. But the figure looks perfectly ordinary.
May I check on something?
The girl calls to the SAT captain over the radio. There appears to be some slight interference, necessitating an adjustment for the dial.
What is it?
The dial.
If you look towards my left, in front of the luggage loading bay is...
But during the moment she look away, the figure has disappeared.
She's not there. That can't be.
The girl looks around, but the figure is nowhere to be seen. Where could she have gone in this open space with nowhere to hide?
What's the matter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was apparently seeing things.
The girl shut the radio off. Who was that just now? Was I truly seeing things? Those questions in mind, the girl tries to remember the figure appearance in their detail. Only then does she realize the cause of her unease. That light blue dress the figure wore was very similar to one she herself had once. Reminds her of those days when she did not yet have a heart. The girl put those thoughts aside and returned to the aircraft. The mission does not end with taking the culprit into custody. In truth, along with defusing the situation, securing the safety of one particular passenger was her highest priority. This fact was not revealed to the SAT team. The passenger was originally seated in first class but would have been forced to move. The girl looked carefully through the restless passenger. It is not long before she finds the face's seat. Looking relieved, the girl walks toward the passenger in question.
Are you all right, Mitsuru-san?
Yes. I didn't think you'd be the one to come.
Mitsuru. The woman who answers has long, shiny hair that will make an impression of anyone. Her refined appearance makes her stand out, over and above her composition in her seat. But I just know the woman well.
In fact, I was surprised to be called on to deal with something like this. The suspects made no demands. What were they after? At first, I thought I was summoned because you were their target, Mitsuru-san.
The higher-ups must have thought the same thing. Panicked. Especially considering there's cargo on that plane they wouldn't want made public. Wait a second, that cargo...
Is something wrong?
This hijack seems strange now that I think about it. They made their move before takeoff, which is odd timing, and they forced the boarding announcement to be stopped. I thought maybe it was their way of trying to pull it off with a small team.
Are you saying that rather than a passenger, they were after that cargo? It's true that no one would consider the unloaded luggage during a hijacking.
I guess I need you to check on my things, though if I'm right, it's already too late.
Respond, Aigis instructs her team via radio to secure all luggage transport routes. Moreover, she requests a search to ensure that no cargo has been taken.
Even if you're right, why would they be interested in your belongings?
My usual cargo wouldn't be worth hijacking a plane over, but I was carrying something sensitive this time. Normally, if they wanted it, they'd have to bypass a Corregio facility's security or attack the vehicle transporting it. But by doing it this way, they can divert the entire country's attention with a few model guns.
Mitsuru smiled. Aigis can tell that she is impressed with their audacity despite herself.
Mitsuru-san's cargo. Sensitive belongings for a vacation. I understand. Hijacking a plane out of a desperate desire for undergarments. This incident will surely go down in history.
Mitsuru eyes block at the unexpected comment.
What? You're jumping to conclusions. It's not sensitive in that way. Besides, my underwear is in this bag and... That's it. Enough about underwear.
He forced a cough and steered the conversation back on track.
More accurately, my cargo contained items from Ergo Research. My trip to Kagoshima was partly vacation, but also to oversee their transferal to Yakushima.
The official name of Ergo Research is the Kijiro Ergonomic Research Lab. Both Mitsuru and Aigis have many bitter memories associated with the name. A bell hangs in the air, but a radio transmission from one of Aigis' teams cut the moment short.
Aigis speaking. I see. Understood.
Mitsuru looks at Aigis questioningly and she nods.
It's as you suspected. They found that one of the boxes scheduled for transport has gone missing.
I thought as much.
With a small sigh, Mitsuru rises from her seat.
We must get it back, I guess. The rest of the team can finish up here. I need you to come with me.
Aigis inspects Mitsuru's face carefully.
Will you be joining the search as well?
Well, I am personally involved, so yes.
In other words, you will officially rejoin the unit and participate in this mission. To be more direct, is it accurate to say that you are abandoning your vacation?
Mitsuru sighed with some exhaustion. Aigis interprets her silence as approval.
Then I hereby transfer command authority to you, Mitsuru-san. Regulations state that the member with the lowest serial number is to take command. And since you are member number 1, the official leader of the Security Department Shadow Response Unit, also called the Shadow Operatives.
I had a feeling I wouldn't be able to enjoy this vacation for long.
Traveling with cargo from Ergo Research suggests that her vacation was neither relaxing nor cheerful.
But I can't allow anyone to be hurt again by the things we, the Kirijo group, created. We'll get this cargo back at all costs. Mission or no mission, I'm making it a personal priority.
Understood.
I just answered loudly and snapped off the police salute that she's finally gotten the hang of. I am Aigis. My official name is 7th Generation Anti-Shadow Suppression Weapon, Aigis. As my name implies, I am not human. I am a humanoid weapon, a robot essentially. Though with the right clothes, a surprising number of people cannot tell the difference. I was created in a research lab owned by one of the world's foremost conglomerates, the Kirijo Group. I was made to exterminate a certain enemy. They are called shadows, monsters born from people repressed emotion, granted dark life. Shadow can only be defeated by those with the special power of personas. One persona can be said to be the power to wield the shadow within. They are two sides of the same coin. So one cannot have a persona if they do not have also a heart. I was given a mind to artificially develop a persona and a body close to that of a human, so that mind could maintain a personality. A heart designed for battle. A body designed for battle. I did endure some suffering because of my original purpose, but I now have a place where I belong. Somewhere I can make full, beneficial use of my powers. That is the Security Department Star Response Unit. Our nickname is the Shadow Operative. The Shadow Operative was formed at Mitsuru Kirijo Directive. It is the scion of the Kirijo group who created me. She has taken responsibilities for shadows. Our objective is to identify and resolve incidents involving shadow by eliminating them. All of our members are persona users or have similar qualification. During operation, our guidelines state that the member with the smallest number has command. The number that I was issued is 5. So I'm not human. I am treated as member and not a piece of equipment. Moreover, my number is in the single digits. Possible that there will be mission like today where I must take commands of dangerous operation. In other words, I am recognized as having the same life and dignity as humans. Because Mitsuru-san and the other have such trust in me, I want to repay that trust with resolve. There is another reason I am working my hardest on this case. Soon after the hijacking was resolved, the stolen cargo was identified. The content surprised me. the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. The unit's name, Labrys. It is one of my sister units. It was sealed over a decade ago for some reason and has been in storage with the other artifacts since then. Labrys, a humanoid weapon, just like me. It is possible that she has a heart. If so, I want to save her before she is misused. This is a mission, but more than that, I feel that it is a duty I must carry out. There's not much to...